So we should be live momentarily if we're not already. If anyone can tell me if they can see us live.
I'm refreshing.
I think it says that we are live. That's what it appears to be. Can anybody?
Oh, there you are. You're live.
We're live. Very cool. So we were able to navigate through the chaos of Facebook changing its interface. How's everyone doing? And Steve's not even here yet. Okay, and
a watch live button, and it's very big.
Oh, is it? Okay, good. Oh, and there's, and it's not even letting me let people in. It even stopped Steve from coming in. And there, I think I've let everybody in, except for Steve. I've let everybody in except Steve. There we go. Perfect. And okay, so how's everyone doing? Welcome to a new edition of Wine and Whiskey Wednesdays with the Hot Ninjas. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
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 Oh, there he is.
We're going to start with a drink before we get into anything else, because it's been one of those weeks, right? And it's been a couple of weeks since we seem to have been online as well.
It's been one of those pandemics. Never thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
So you probably wish even now that you never wished that you had to say it.
You can say you've been through a plague. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah. Well, and they're saying they're comparing it, to what they're having to mobilize since World War II.
It is wartime.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's taking us on.
Yeah, which is scary, scary, scary. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone surviving?
Well,
Surviving?
It's just weird not being around. It's just weird not being around real people.
Yeah.
It's been weeks since I've been touched anyone but my family. And even that, we're all inside and safe, but it's just weird. It's like you feel this social distancing thing even inside. It's like, what if they have the? It's just a psyche, isn't it? It's kind of an international. This is invisible thing we can't see, but it's there. We see the result.
Yes, yeah. And what I find really strange is that we all say that we want to how much it would be now, how nice it would be if we had some downtime, right? Where we didn't have to go to work every day, and even the people that that want to that aren't necessarily working and are completely at home are not enjoying it as much as they thought they would.
Well, it's like the Groundhog Day, the movie, right? It's like every day is the same. You kind of wake up and there's not a lot of variability to it. So I think you have to sort of challenge yourself and I haven't been. I'm guilty of that. I'm in total Groundhog Day. In fact, I've switched I go to bed at like 4 or 5 in the morning and get up at noon. It just doesn't matter, right?
I know. Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, you're there anyways, and it's just whenever it's your time. But it seems like freedom, but it's kind of boring.
Yeah. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Hey, Richard.
You
There's
and
five webinars going on.
Yeah.
That's why I come here, buddy. Now I got. Well, you're there anyways, and it's just whenever it's your time, but it's.
So we got an
lag.
So Richard,
An echo.
Facebook.
Someone might have Facebook on. Turn your Facebook volume
Facebook
down.
Open and Zoom. So there's a lag between when you hear it here and when it actually shows up on Facebook. So if you have both open, you're going to drive yourself insane.
That was insanity personified.
He's back.
Yeah.
I had no idea that I had to close Facebook. It was me. Sorry.
You're in a time warp.
Could y'all hear it?
Yes, we did. We heard the echo. We heard Brad.
I sort of heard something.
It was like Brad talking to Brad, who was talking to a room of Brads. Yeah.
Well, hey, we're in the middle of everything else. Why not just multi-dimensional and time travel?
Right. I kind of.
Time travel would be cool.
Yeah. Actually, that would be very cool.
Okay, so that's the question. Let's start with that question. If you could travel in time, where would you go? What time would you go to? So Richard, why don't you start?
Oh, this is my genre too. I would, well, there's a few places that I would go, but I would be very Doctor Who-ish about it. I would go to different points all over the span of time, but mostly I want to see about 150 years in our future.
Oh, you're going forward.
Interesting.
50.
Yeah, because if we can go backwards, we can go forwards. I want to know if we're still here.
I'm going back to China about 3-4 months ago, and I'm going to raise hell. That's what I'm doing.
You can't affect the events that have already happened, especially the major.
I'll try, man. I'll try.
Oh well.
Especially
Okay, so this is the Ninja wine and whiskey time travel. You can affect whatever the hell you want.
There you go.
If Brad is going to go back,
I'm going back to China.
Change what happens now. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
See how good you are, Brad, at warning everybody.
Yeah. Everyone will go like, "You're crazy! It's a hoax." Yeah.
Can someone just
flu.
go back to whatever started this and just not have that happen?
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to China. I'm gonna raise hell. And like, I think it happened in like December or something. It first made it.
They figure in November.
November. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to China in November, and I'm gonna find out where the virus is and just mess with it right away.
Perfect. So Richard's going 150 years in the future. Brad's going to get us all out of this. Yeah. So 150 years in the future is going to be completely different.
Is anybody?
We'll have a future now.
Who else? Who else would like to share where they would like to travel to in time?
It's a great question.
I know. I can't even think of anything.
I'll have fun with it. Have fun with it.
I would really want to go to Pompeii a day before Pompeii blew up.
Oh. And just get far enough away and FaceTime it or something?
No, a day before.
Okay.
I want to see what it was like to compare it to what we think it was like.
Okay. I hope you don't get caught by travel restrictions there.
What was that?
When was that? Was that BC or AD, Pompeii?
I think it was BC.
I think it was.
AC.
No.
AD.
It was. It had to be.
I'm not a history person, so I'm out of this conversation completely.
I'm with you.
We got Juliet quiet all of a sudden.
Her weak point is history.
I'm out.
It was actually AD.
Oh, it is?
It was AD.
79.
Oh,
See, it was just about.
Okay, anyone else? Where would you like to, if you had the ability to time travel, past or present, where would you go? When would you go?
I think it'd be kind of funny if you went back to July 1969 to the moon 10 minutes before Neil Armstrong came in and welcomed him to the moon.
That would be awesome. Greetings, Earthling. It's the 60s, so you'd be smoking a reefer or something. Have a hippie thing going. Yo, dude.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else like to share?
Steve, I'm coming with sea bass. I'm going to join you on the moon.
I'd want to go
through the plague.
Anyone else?
I would fast forward to the future to where it goes to a point where I could then do any more time travel I want if time travel existed.
Okay.
Is that like if you get 3 wishes, wishing for 1,000 wishes?
I don't think you can do that, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
How come none of the ladies are participating?
Okay, ladies, anybody like to share where they'd like to travel to?
I'd like to time travel in the future. I'm like kind of a Star Trek fan, and I want to see if some version of the Federation actually ever exists. So
it will. My wife believes it does.
That's my peak moment for the night.
My wife will hang out with you.
Actually, I think that right now is our moment. This is one of those things that will bring all the nations together, or we'll
destroy them
next year.
Well, I've heard, with all the kids at home and the homeschooling, that a lot of educators are saying, you know, remind your kids that they're actually living through something that is going to be in the history books when the next generation goes through school. So to actually get them, you know, to journal or document it in some way as to how it felt and how it's affected them. Because when they talk about it with their kids aren't going to say, you know, they're going to learn about it in school, and our generation of kids is going to have lived through it. So
version of I walk both. Whoops.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Nope, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Richard.
Do you think that we're going to go back to a society that is anything like it was last month?
A couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see us ever being as...
It's eye-opening. It's really eye-opening. What
It
are our
really
lessons
is.
learned? Go get some ventilators and stuff. And, you know, who would have thought we'd need ventilators en masse worldwide? That only happens over somewhere else, not in North America, right? We've seen it on the
See, in
news.
a way, I think that people will go right back to the way they were. They're just stupid. They're not paying attention to anything. They're just, the greed is insane. I mean, yeah.
Oh, my husband is in Texas, and you know, California's locked down tight, and Texans are
They're
like
still drinking and hanging out.
Oh, we'd like to still be able to go to the bar. Can't we go to the bar?
Yeah.
Seriously, that was an actual discussion. I was but no, you're missing how this works.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of the way that it works.
Florida learned the hard way because they wanted to be open for spring break, and Louisiana learned the hard way because they did Mardi Gras. So
Mardi Gras.
Texas is about to learn.
Yeah.
This is
even as bad as New York is right now. The people are still going, you know, holding
Hanging
parties and things, and yeah.
I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think New York is.
Well, I think they're a little more
They
serious
are.
now.
A lot of
It's
people have been
bad.
getting fines and stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, I'll tell you where the breaking point is going to be. It's going to be in 15 days.
Yeah, that's the peak of a lot of states.
No.
And Canada.
Everybody will be going to Easter Sunday church.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe in the US, you will be. In Canada, we will be.
No.
We won't be doing that here in California, but in the deep South, yeah, they're like already pastors are going to jail because they're.
Yeah, I saw that. The one guy, it was at Louisiana, I think. He just kind of thumbed his nose.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, you had something, if you still remember what it was that you were going to say.
No, I don't remember.
Where are you going to go, Jacqueline? Backwards or forwards?
Probably forwards, maybe a year from now.
Just see if we made it?
But that too, yeah.
See what happens.
And then I know what's going on.
Then you can
I'm
plan.
tired of the flip-flopping the government seems to be doing.
Yes.
Thank you, Juliet, for keeping us all on track, because if it wasn't for you, I would be lost half the way.
But let me tell you, as much as it feels crazy up here in Canada, I'm so happy to be in Canada because my friend Richard down there, he knows what I'm saying. It's a gong show down there. There's no organization. The bigger country, they've waited too long. Up here, you know, say what you want about our prime minister, he's actually stayed pretty grounded, and people are impressed. Like here we are in Alberta. We hate Trudeau here. I mean, this is not Trudeau's. I mean, this is the second one. We didn't like Dad. Pierre,
you guys don't like Trudeau?
Do you know what this is? That's called a Trudeau salute in Alberta. Because he came here once and gave us he got so upset with the crowd, and he went like this to the crowd as he left Alberta, and we never forgot. It was in like 1974, I think. But Trudeau, Trudeau's a 4-letter word here, and he just didn't poll well here. We're very conservative here politically, Richard. We're not redneck, conservative. So yeah, we just don't vote liberal here. We just won't. But he's done a really good job, and even Albertans are saying, well, you know, he is doing okay.
Yeah.
Are the definitions of liberal and conservative switched up there? Because you guys talk to us You're like liberal haven.
No, we're the Liberal Party is kind of like the Democrats. The GOP, like it used to be before Trump stole it, was kind of like our Conservative Party. And then Bernie Sanders runs the NDP, if that makes sense. We have an NDP party here that actually wins seats, but it's never actually governed. So we do get some of those ideas. That's why, you know, we definitely have a more socialist bent up here. But we have three parties that really win. And then we actually, should I complicate them with Quebecois and the Green Party? And we have lots of parties up here that actually win seats, but it's usually either the Liberals or the Conservatives. So it's like the Democrats or the GOP. Currently, we're the Liberal.
Richard, where are you located?
California.
Oh, same.
It was actually.
There you go.
Whereabouts? Where are you?
San Jose.
Nice. We love
Okay,
San Jose.
I'm Palm Springs, all the way down.
Oh, you're south. Okay.
It's actually funny, Richard, I was thinking about you the other day when, you know, so obviously as a result of all of the pandemic is the memes on Facebook. I mean, some of them are hilarious. And there was one that was talking about what all of our hair is going to look like when we come out of quarantine. Remember?
Yeah, I already have game show host hair.
And I remember thinking that the one person who is going to have awesome hair is going to be Richard. But you just said your husband is not with you. He's in Texas.
Oh, he does your hair, right?
Well, no, he actually hasn't done my hair for a couple of years. But
if he was there, he would.
Yeah, absolutely he would. He actually, no, he's been gone for a while because when this started coming down, we had to make some decisions because his parents have all the risk factors and nobody to help them. And he has a disabled sister. Yeah. And my mother's here.
Right. So he's going to watch your parents.
Yeah, we made a decision to split up, watch the parents divide and conquer. And he's going to be stuck there for quite a while. And I mean, he is not working at all.
What part of Texas, Richard?
So a little suburb outside of Houston where he grew up called Deer Park, Texas.
Okay, so down on the coast.
Yeah, right on the water. And it's where most of the chemical plants are.
Right. How is it down there? Are there a lot of cases yet? I know Dallas was supposedly a hot spot.
So Dallas is a bigger hotspot than Houston is, but I also believe that it's because they're not reporting because we're not testing. That's the other aspect of it is the numbers are so suspect and we're still number one. But the numbers are very, very suspect because I know people that are dying of it and have not been tested yet.
And well, that's even up here. I mean, they tell you if you're sick, don't go to the hospital, stay home. Exactly. So how are the numbers going to be even accurate?
Mm-hmm. They're nowhere close to accurate. And it is shocking when, you know, hearing stories from just the local hospital and they're setting up tents in the parking lot and refrigerator trucks as a morgue. This is scary.
It is.
This is really scary. And we had gun sales like 8,000% more than normal. That's comforting. Wow.
You guys got a revolution coming, Richard. There's a lot of right-wing crazy talk. They're all arming up. They're ready for the Armageddon. It's weird. There's a lot of chatter down there.
I know. It's insanity. Yeah, and it's kind of nerve-wracking.
And we're just smoking a lot of weed up here. That's all we do in Canada.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. It's an essential service. Isn't that hilarious?
I will say this. I got 15 texts 5 minutes after we got the shelter-in-place order that said, hey, need weed delivered from all the dispensaries.
Free delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, they're delivering for any order over $50.
I heard a quote from a government official. They were talking about closing down liquor stores. And the guy's reply was classic. He said, oh, wow, we want to make the situation better, not worse. So, you know, they said there's no way we're gonna keep that away from people. They're gonna need it. So
I will say this. So with Kevin being a hairdresser, he gets tipped in bottles of alcohol at Christmas time. So we always have a fully like overstocked bar. But sadly, I'm at home with the bar and I can't drink because of a medication I'm on.
I'm on the East Coast, so Pennsylvania has state-run liquor stores. So Pennsylvania closed them.
Oh no!
Is right next door, and Delaware has tax. So now all the people are trying to come down from Pennsylvania to Delaware, and so now they're closing the borders because they don't want all the
spread
infected from Pennsylvania to come down to Delaware.
We can get it delivered here in Alberta. I don't know the other place in Canada, but yeah, we can just dial a bottle. A lot of places doing it. Even Skip the Dishes, which is kind of like DoorDash. I think they deliver from some places. You can get beer from microbrews and things.
Yeah, they've done a few.
Actually, there's a Alberta. So in Ontario, it is liquor. It is a state or a province run. So the liquor stores are still open, but they have granted permission to the restaurants to sell alcohol with takeout orders.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And delivery
Us
through
too.
the dishes and stuff. But
yeah, we're doing it here too. But yeah, gun sales are up out here on the East Coast too. So it's everywhere.
Lovely.
Wow.
So you said you're in PA. What part of Pennsylvania are you in?
I'm actually in Maryland.
Oh, you're
yeah,
okay.
I'm right on the border of like everything, so I can be like I'm 15 minutes to half an hour between New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland. Yeah,
You got DC right there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's everyone think of a tip that you could share with people that are out there and our audience. And I can't tell whether anyone is commenting because I can't see the comment box anymore in this new version of Facebook Live.
But so Richard Rope is out there. He says, "Can I come in?"
Oh, is that the actual chat? Okay, so I can see that. I wasn't sure.
And Rajiv said hello all 18 minutes ago. Hey, Rajiv.
Perfect. Okay, so let's share one thing that you're doing that's helping you get through self-isolation. Something that you're doing that's making you feel better, something that is helping you cope. One thing.
Play dates. We've been doing Zoom play dates with children of families that we're friends with who we might visit on the weekend. We were doing some kind of Lego charades.
What was that? Was that not just me?
We played a game.
Sorry, hey John, your voice just went totally whack there for about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So try again.
All right. So can you hear me now?
Now we can. Yes.
I was just saying we did play dates with families of children who would normally be spending time with. And it was a huge hit for both the kids and for the parents. And the parents didn't have to be largely involved. We had them do a scavenger hunt in their own house. We did kind of Lego charades. That was a lot of fun, things like that. And I don't know.
So virtual play dates.
Virtually, right?
Okay, yeah.
Virtually is the key word here.
Slobbering all over each other.
Are you making a fine?
We connected Etobicoke, Vaughan, and Milton in that one, in the last one that we did.
What platform did you use? Did you use Zoom and 100? What'd you use?
Zoom. Okay.
Zoom.
Very cool. Great
Zoom
idea.
is everyone comes up to you now and says, "Have you heard of Zoom? How many people are getting that?"
Yes.
Everyone's making, they're new to Zoom. They're all excited about it. Hey, look at this tool.
Okay. Who else would like to share something that they're doing that is helping them get through self-isolation?
I'm over-organizing everything in my room.
I saw your tweets.
I'm just meditating so I can sleep.
Okay, perfect. Meditation, organizing.
I'm doing a lot of yoga.
Okay.
I've got the yoga mat in my office, so if I'm kind of have a few minutes of downtime, I do a couple downward dogs. Just
are you doing any of the online classes? Because a lot of the yoga centers, obviously they're closed, are doing online streaming of their classes.
Yeah, I haven't started that yet because I don't have a full hour to set aside for the most part, but I actually have a client that's a yoga studio, and they've pivoted to online. So it's been really fun to support them through that. And I'm excited about trying one of their classes on the weekend. So yeah.
Very cool. Excellent. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have 3 things. So we've been doing Zoom meetings with Tamitha Danes once a week, and she sends her love. That's been really nice to keep connected.
She's just joined.
Oh, there she is. Yeah,
we're supposed to be going
sends her love. So we just had one. We just had one, and that's been very helpful. WhatsApp groups, with our friends, sharing some funny jokes, information. And the third thing that I've gotten into that I've always wanted to, and I haven't, is meditation. And I've been doing that with Jay Shetty. Is everybody aware? Is anyone aware of Jay Shetty?
I saw one of his talks recently.
He does 20 minutes of meditation every day at 12:30 Eastern time. And it's pretty amazing to be part of that.
Is he doing it on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook Live. I highly recommend it.
Very cool.
Cool. Yeah, he was on the news the other day. He was giving people advice on how to manage and cope.
Yeah,
cool guy.
I find his meditations, they've been really helpful. And he records them, so I start my day with them. And then I also, it's like 20 minutes is doable for me. And then at 12:30, I join his, it's pretty cool. Everybody around the world hooks up and we all do it together, like whoever's interested in it. So try it if you're interested.
Okay, great. Thank you for the suggestions. Anyone else like to share what they're doing, a self-isolation tip to get them through it? And hey, Amy, I see that Amy is in the chat. Feel free to join us online. The link is in the description above.
I've been doing a lot of Zoom calls. Some of you may know I actually broke 2 bones in my ankle and my tibia bone. So I am completely immobile for a minimum of 3 months.
So you're mobile and self-isolated. Great. Well, at least you have a good time.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of Zoom calls, which really, it does help to be a little more connected. And like Juliet, thank you for your constant updates on what's going on, because my brain is just too fuzzy to even comprehend a lot of it. So it's been very useful to be able to pass on to clients and stuff.
Excellent. Okay, cool. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else would like to share what they're doing to... Matthew, you've been really silent. I know you're muted, but you're really silent. So share your tip. What are you doing to get you through self-isolation?
One of the things we started doing is actually the Hunt a Killer game that we're doing on Mondays and Fridays, which is pretty cool. It's first time we've ever tried doing something like this, so there's a bit of a learning curve of getting it going and rocking and rolling, but it's fun. It was really a great way to end the week. For Parkway, we do every single day we do a stand-up meeting, and it always starts off with us joking around, just kind of laughing, having a good time, and then we end the day. And that's work related, but it's just a way to keep that camaraderie and companionship of a team, pushing forward. And then my dog walks, which I need to go do pretty quick here, but they're an absolute necessity for me right now. Getting out, just walking around, getting out of the house.
And is everyone at home? Or, because I know essential accounting, bookkeeping is an essential service, or in a lot of provinces and states. So Tamitha, I know you're still going into the office. Anyone else still having to go into the office?
I do kind of. I've got to go at least once a week to go check mail. We go also because I want to go make sure that my stuff is still there. I don't think we're at that kind of a point, but I'm still going to go check and make sure that everything is good, right? So I will arrange usually about at least once a week I'll go, but I'm by myself. So it's still socially distant that way.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yelena, I'm not sure if it's Yelena or Yelena, I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, is asking the question about the meditation. Was it a Facebook group? And Sonia had said it wasn't a Facebook group, it's his Facebook page, correct?
Yes.
Hey, I just put his name in Facebook. It's Jay Shetty. If you just look around, I'm sure it's out there. He talked about it on the news the other day, so you'll find it.
He offers it across his platforms, Instagram and Facebook.
There you go.
And he's on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
You'll find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anyone else like to share? And hey, Amy.
Well, I've got the ultimate way to social distance, my Vespa, because I can just go anywhere and just sit somewhere and there's no one around for miles. Unfortunately, winter won't let go. So I've had it out a few times, but you know, yesterday we got a little snow, today a little bit, but I plan on using it a lot more. And all three of us have scooters as well. So we might try it as a family and just go somewhere and just, you know, just be away from everyone, but just get out.
Change your scenery.
I'm learning to cook, but that's more survival than coping.
Who normally cooks, Richard?
Not me.
Is
there you go.
anyone else creating some masterpieces? We've seen, you know, so one of our team members, so our team is still all working, but a lot of their significant others are not. And so one of our team members shared pictures in our meeting on Monday of all the amazing food that her husband is cooking because he has all this time. Anyone else getting any creations?
That's my wife. My wife does that.
Yeah.
She's good at it.
I've been kind of my grocery bill has been like climbing like you wouldn't believe, because now all of a sudden I have 3 teenage boys who are home all the time eating, and we're not going out and we're not going out. I didn't realize how much we ate out either because we're not going out. So you think it would kind of compensate, but it's just shocking too, because then you also buy a couple extra things when you're at the grocery store because it's such a pain. So my grocery bill, I'm like, oh my word, I need a whole other budget line for extra COVID grocery line or something like that in my unbelievable how much food we're going through.
Well, I think everybody's eating more, and the kids, I mean, yes.
Everyone's home too, right? So yeah.
Normally they're at school, they have breakfast, they have lunch, and then they come home and they have a snack and they eat, but now they're home, they're eating all day, right?
And that's why
I went in the kitchen. I went in the kitchen today and I'm like standing there and my husband comes in, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm bored. I'm not hungry. I'm just bored. And I like shut the fridge.
But I heard that the best way to socially distance is keep 6 feet away from the fridge. They're actually recommending that because we're all going to be going, I'm bored. And then, you know, in a few months time, we're all going to be, hey, my clothes shrunk, you know? We're just not getting out as much.
No,
so.
that's not going to happen.
One of the positives of being home and cooking all the time is, and I really like to cook, and you know what you're putting in your mouth and you know what you're putting in your body. And actually over the last 2 weeks, I've dropped like 6 pounds. So
nice. Hey, congratulations, by the way, John.
Oh, thank you very much. That was something else we did over Zoom, was that engagement toast. So
very nice. Very cool. Anyone else? So I know, so one of the, again, these Facebook memes that are floating around was to bring yourself back in reality. Every couple days, put your jeans back on and get out of your pajamas. And that will remind you.
How'd you know I was in sweats?
What are these jeans you speak of?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Has anybody seen that little dog Pluto? The little schnauzer?
Oh, yes.
Have you seen him? He's got such cute little things about how to survive the COVID-19 for 2-leggeds and how the 4-legged survive. He's on Pluto YouTube. You just do Pluto Live.
Channel now? I've seen 1 or 2. I didn't realize he became a cult following.
Oh yeah, he's become a real cult following apparently.
Very cool. I did not know that. Okay, good to share.
Guys,
Pluto.
Yes, I am dog absent tonight. So Steve, is Godfrey with you in your room?
He is not.
He's not with me either.
Oh. He must be with Sierra.
See, this is what happens when you're not paying attention.
Go.
I'm stopping in and I'm leaving, guys. I'm going to go home. I'm tired.
It's 8:30. Go home. Go home.
But you guys, for those of you that know Ray, you guys can go and congratulate him. As of June 30th, he's a kept man.
He's officially retired?
Nice.
Very nice.
He's retiring.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
What are you going to do then?
I have no idea.
Conquer the
She's
world.
going to work more than she did. Be out of the house.
I'm gonna dig a hole in the backyard and put him in it.
Put them on collections or something. Give him a task.
I love him to death. I couldn't have him. I don't know how you two do it. Like seriously, without killing each other. He's a good man. Not working with me.
Oh, I cannot work with Kevin, but the way that we do it is there's a door in my office and that door stays shut. And that's how we maintain.
I was at a client's today who is a medical clinic, but we were onboarding and I have no choice but to go there just for a little bit. So I was there for an hour. There's people with surgical masks and gloves on, and I'm in the back office. They wiped it all down. I'm in the back office and just finished by myself finishing up. And the ones was like, I thought you'd be done by now. I'm like, I know, but it's so quiet here and peaceful. I'd rather stay here in the middle of COVID Central. Please don't send me home yet. I'd rather stay here. Like, don't make me go home. The family's there. So it was, but eventually they're like, no, you need to leave for medical reasons. I'm like, okay, but it's so peaceful.
So you're
new lows. I've gotten to new lows. That's what that conversation taught me.
I think that's your self-isolation tip is to find another place to self-isolate.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Bye, Tam.
Bye, Tamitha. Thank
Bye,
you.
Tamitha.
Bye, Tamitha.
Anyone else have any tips that they would like to share?
Get a mask.
Mask.
That's what they're telling you. They're saying get a mask, even if you make one.
Yeah, there's a ton of places that are that are listing how to make your own mask.
This thing's totally high tech, though. I bought it a while ago because I get hay fever. So when I would cut the lawn, I would get really sneezy. So it's like this Velcro thing with a mask inside it, and it's totally legit for N95 and all that. So I have asthma, so I'm terrified of this thing. So I need to take care of myself. So that's why I don't go outside a lot. The virus might be flying by in the air, but even though it doesn't, it's kind of psychological just being out there.
Yeah. Well, and Matthew, you have your mask. Everyone else have a mask? We didn't have any in our house.
The reason I have one is because I went to India. So like I bought it before my trip to India, and I just happened to be lucky that they have like the replaceable filters and all that stuff. So it happened to come in handy that way.
Why did you need one in India? Just from the pollution?
Because the air quality was bad down there, especially going to the Taj Mahal. Like,
yeah, I remember.
That's what these are designed for. They're actually designed for cycling commuters in the cities because of the smog so bad. That's what they're exactly for. London, they're really popular. I saw a lot of them. New York, they're very popular. Then everywhere in Asia.
So one of the interesting side effects about pollution, etc., is this is basically a reboot for Mother Nature. Going outside, Matthew, I don't know if you could see the stars from your house.
No smog.
We can see everything now. And there are dolphins back in the canals in Italy, and pollution is at all-time low.
Well, they were always there. You just couldn't see them. That's what they're saying. The canals are clear. And I saw a shot from space, and it shows that, yeah, the Earth is cleaner right now.
Well, my sister lives in the UK, in London, and she was saying that she has never seen stars in London before, but you can now see stars in London.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it will be. So we started the conversation as to whether or not what the thought was as to what the world was going to look like when we get out.
We're going to have a new baby boom.
Yeah.
I heard a term. What do they call them? Corona babies or something?
We have a new generation of baby boomers.
Yeah, but they're going to use the word
and
corona.
we'll also have a higher divorce rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We absolutely will.
Higher divorce rate.
Yeah, I've heard there's domestics are a real
I
problem
think that
right
commercial
now.
real estate will be a thing of the past. I don't think we're going to see as many offices that people go into. We actually are seeing a shift of many businesses that once thought they never could exist in an online world shifting.
Do you see that as being a permanent shift, that people have now realized that, hey, I can run my business from home? And
I think there's going to be, I think that'll be a staged shift. I think that we will start seeing in new home construction, I think we'll start seeing actual offices instead of bedrooms that are converted into offices. I think they will be built into homes for offices, and more than one. And they won't be a side nook. I think that homes will start keeping up with the times. And I think that that will be the end of, not the end, but the death of many, many commercial real estate ventures. And I don't think we're gonna have as many malls and big gathering spots. I just don't think it'll ever be the same.
Do you think that it will, I don't know if dissuade or just reduce the amount of social gatherings that everyone is going to have, even after they say, okay, fine, you know, you're free to go out, that people are still going to be worried about it? And
oh yeah, it's not going to go away.
Until there's a vaccine, how are we going to go out? You can't really have big gatherings until they've got this thing figured out. So that really drives
too many
it.
People that are immunocompromised.
Yes.
I can't leave my house. I mean, even with a mask and gloves, I cannot leave my house. My doctor was very explicit.
And with asthma, I'm terrified of it. So many times I hear people that are 30s, 40s, 20s, and then they'll always preface it with they had asthma. So I'm like Richard, even though my doctor's not telling me not to, I'm not going out there again until this thing's dealt with.
This is supposed to continue till, I heard, July. Like that we're expected to socially isolate ourselves until July.
And you're in Canada, Sonia?
Yeah, Ontario.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. In the US, I'm hearing, you know, some places it could be the fall, even into 2021.
What? Really?
I don't know if they've given a definitive answer yet.
No, they haven't, but that's what I've been
know yet.
I think at the end of the day, the vaccine, if they find a vaccine tomorrow, then the future looks very bright. That's going to drive it.
Possibly manufacture enough vaccine though,
exactly.
even if they find one tomorrow.
Well, the thing is anyone who has tested positive is now immune. They don't need a vaccine. So that's the one plus. The downside is because you can be asymptomatic and not know you had it. So how are people ever going to know? I think eventually they'll test to see if you did have it.
I read that I heard that on the news yesterday, that they're coming up with a test to show if you have the antibodies.
Right.
Well, that was about 2 weeks ago. MIT estimated rollout for that test 8 months. That's the fall. They'll be able to test if you had it and if you have antibodies. Because we have a friend who he's convinced that he had it in early December, but they can't do anything. They can't tell him whether he did or he didn't. So he just can't do anything.
I think we got about 15 minutes left, and I don't want to end on a sad note. So let's end on a happier note. So what does everyone see as a positive spin-off for either themselves personally or professionally as a result of going through this entire experience?
Well, we can brag a bit because this validates what we've been doing for a couple of years now and going into the cloud and being remote and being able to operate wherever we want. So this makes us look really good because think about it. We're going to be able to consult in that area. People are going to want to say, hey, you guys run your business online. Show me how to do it.
Yeah.
I think it'll open up a whole new revenue stream for a lot of people, especially in our world where there's, you know, we're cutting edge, a lot of us that we're sitting there watching stuff. I think it's a great opportunity.
I've been teaching companies how to get online. That has been nothing I ever thought would be a revenue stream, but that is absolutely what I've been filling my days and nights with.
Okay. So
I see a lot of positives coming out of this because there's such an opportunity for huge learning and for all kinds of people. So whether it be scientists collaborating, whether it be business people collaborating and developing new ways to interact, and you know, there's collaboration in the venture capital area right now. I've seen scientists, I've seen crafters collaborating in terms of making these masks. I've seen communities gathering together. We live in a townhouse complex with 50 people, and we have a very strong WhatsApp group, and we're keeping everybody informed and making sure that we can deliver groceries or pick up groceries to people. There's so many ways in which people are coming together that I'm super hopeful. And I listen to CBC radio all day. This is a public radio. It's Canada's national public radio. And they have so much on there that's so amazing. I'm just super hopeful. I mean, this is the way I am about life in general, but I hope that we'll be able to springboard off of some alternative energies as well from this, because the low price of oil is going to hit the oil and gas sector. And I hope that innovators jump in there with sustainable energy. I hope that like writers and artists, there's a lot of Indigenous musicians producing a lot of really insanely cool music right now. Like, I'm just like unbelievably hyped by this, because I feel like this has engaged me more than anything else in my life ever has. I'm 50 years old. I couldn't be more engaged and more connected with people in my life than through this. And so like, I'm totally passionate about living through this and using this experience to connect in more and better ways with everybody in my life. So yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I love that.
Nice.
I love that completely.
Very good attitude.
Positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard that with from a lot of people, that they are connecting more with people than they normally would. Yes, it's virtually, but that they're interacting with them. So even in my example, we have a Zoom call set up with my parents and my sister every other day. And we just, I mean, we're on there for 15 minutes sometimes, an hour sometimes, but we're connecting every other day, and everyone in our WhatsApp group has to say in the morning, yeah, all is good, so that we know that everybody is fine. And whereas normally, I mean, we don't all get together, we talk to each other individually, but we never, communicate as a group. So it absolutely, it's changing the way that we're communicating. You're learning who's important, who's important in your life that you want to make sure you stay in touch with. So I think it is teaching us about the relationships in our life. Yeah. Anybody else?
I think the other thing too is how awesome entrepreneurship is. Like, if you look at entrepreneurs, and so yeah, everyone's just give them, I know everyone's reeling, but if you can just kind of keep with them, hold their hand a little bit longer, entrepreneurs, just their ability to pivot and adapt, it's just mind-blowing. So it'll be interesting the next 6 months to a year, what kind of entrepreneurs come out of this, and how much stronger so many of them will be, and how they've changed and modified them. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how, kind of a believer in that capitalist kind of thing, and just how they'll pivot will be an interesting thing to watch. So there'll be opportunity there.
And all the innovation that comes out of it.
Yeah, all of the innovation, and they'll capitalize on that. They'll take that and run with it. And there'll be some really interesting, fascinating entrepreneurs that take some of this new, whatever comes out of this, and they'll run with it. So maybe right now, of course, everyone's reeling, but it'll be neat to see, I think.
Government's really about jobs now. So there's actually more opportunity if entrepreneurs are creating jobs.
I think there's also opportunity for employees to become entrepreneurs. I think you're going to see some people say, now's the time to break free and not feel so vulnerable and, be tied to a job.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if they are having to self-isolate and they are able to collect, some government subsidy for a while that's going to pay their bills, then is that the buffer that they need to take that leap into starting their own business?
Exactly. And things with the banks being, relaxing mortgages and car payments and things, it's going to allow people to circle the wagons a bit, get a little bit of runway to try something like that. It's almost like having an investment in the business by just getting that break. Yeah, you're going to have to pay your mortgage eventually, but it's just, to be able to just tighten the belt a bit and find a way to make it work, because you'll just need less money over the next little while to make it happen, theoretically.
And you can't theoretically go out and go drinking and spend all your pay.
Yeah. There you go. And like someone said, you're not eating out as much. I mean, John, you had mentioned, we all love to eat out, but like you say, you never know what you're eating. And of course it drains the bank account, and it adds a few pounds. So, there's good coming out of it.
I have lost 9 pounds since self-isolating.
Wow.
I think that's stress more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes have to remember to eat.
Yeah.
Has everyone got routines going? Like, is everyone still doing regular routine? I think I mentioned to you, I go to bed at some weird times and wake up at noon, and it's just like, just get the work done whenever. But
I think that's what's keeping me sane, is I try to keep my alarm set for the same time. We go to bed around the same time. I get up, I get ready for work, have my breakfast, do all of that before I sit down. My husband's not so good at that. It'll be noon and he'd be like, I don't think I ate breakfast. And I'm like, come on.
That's kind of me right now.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know if I can break out of that, because I'm afraid if I do, I'm not going to get back into it.
I actually am embracing new routines.
Yes. And I found in the first couple days, because I normally go into the office, even though I have the ability to work from home, I prefer to actually go into the office. So when we were all forced to be home, for the first couple days, I was in my pajamas. I didn't get ready. I didn't do anything. And I found that my productivity went down day over day over day. But when I actually got ready as though I was going to work and then sat down, I did feel a lot more productive. And it's, combing your hair and changing out of your pajamas seemed to
yeah, people would joke with me that I was sitting in my pajamas drinking while I was working, and I was like, no, I'm actually still in my jeans working, but no, none of that's going on until after dinner. But
I'm in my PJ bottoms. I'm just going to say it. I've been working out of the house for 18 years, and that has not changed.
You have great discipline. I don't have that kind of discipline.
I get up, I do exactly what Kelly does. I get ready for work, but I do, well, up until a couple of weeks ago, I actually left the house, but it may only have been to walk around the block. Yeah. But then when I walk back in, I'm at work, and I do the same thing when I leave. So I have a distinct end and a beginning to my day.
Yeah, I've heard that. Excellent. So there's a whole bunch of comments, which I haven't really read in the chat. So we've got Lisa joining us, and Tanya and Michelle. Sorry, I'm on a new version of Facebook Live, and so my comments are all kind of hidden behind my screen.
Do you want me to read Lisa's comment? There's one that she has a question for everyone.
Sure.
This is for Canadians, I guess, because is there any concern from the group about the devaluation of currency? Obviously, the US dollar is strong. This is for the Canadian dollar. Just had a chat with father-in-law about Germany's devaluation of the mark back in 1926. He believes our borrowing is a good thing. Okay, who wants to tackle that one?
I don't know the answer to that, but it sounded like it was a negative topic, and we've got 7 minutes left, and we're ending on a positive one.
That sounds positive. It's a good thing. Borrowing is a good thing. Like with the interest rates low, leverage can actually help a business.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
If you can borrow it, prime plus, prime is what, 0.25 right now?
Yes. Okay. So that's a positive spin.
Yeah.
Any other positive things that people are seeing coming out of this? We talked about, the change to the environment and being able to see stars, and the canals in Venice being clear. Anything else?
I'm seeing a lot of accounting firms growing.
Growing. Okay. Is that because of all the competition needing?
I have 28 clients, all accounting firms, and all but 3 are in growth mode still.
Nice.
They're getting new business, they're getting cleanups because people need cleanups to get loans.
Right.
They need to file their taxes, et cetera.
And I think that's coming, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the incentives, I think, on both sides of the border, you're going to have to open your books to get to qualify for subsidies and things.
You're going to need books.
You know, they're going to have to. They're not just going to take. You know, we've seen some pretty nasty books in our travels. They're going to need to be clean enough. So I can see a lot of people getting phone calls saying.
And on average, we're seeing between 30 and 40% growth. I mean, it's rapid and it's fast, and some people are not adjusting to it quick enough. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Is it primarily just, is it because they're cloud-based and remote and their current bookkeeper isn't, or is it all as a result of the requirements for the loans and the subsidies in the US?
I think there are two things that are happening, to be very honest. I think there's two sides of the coin. I think that there are bookkeepers and accountants that are losing business, and there are others that are gaining business. And I think much of it is attitude and willingness to step outside of. I have listened to many people say, "Oh, I don't know how to help you with that loan application," and I've also heard many people say, "Let me just jump in and see what I can do to assist." Mm-hmm. Those are the people that are making clients for life.
Absolutely.
They're growing. Yeah. They're the ones that they're just saying, you know what, we're all in this together. Let's do whatever we need to do. And they're helping their clients, and they're helping prospective clients and potential clients, and they're growing as a result. The ones that are staying here and saying, oh, that's outside my skill level, not my station, etc., it's that they're dropping.
Well, and realistically, I mean, nobody in the US knows how to fill out their SBA loan applications. Is that
they're insane. Yeah.
Nobody has ever filled one out, and because it's all new, right? All these programs are brand new. So you're having to learn them as you go along. All the ones in Canada that are coming out, you know, the wage subsidies that we've got, we have no idea what any of these are. But it is how you want to address it with your clients. No, I don't know how to do it. You're on your own. Or, okay, let's navigate through this together. We're going to figure it out.
We had 24 people on my regular roundtable meeting this morning, and the entire 90 minutes plus an extra 20 was spent on here's what I know about the forms. Here's, you know, what do you think about this? Yeah. What's your interpretation of that? Back and forth. It was ridiculously complicated. I can't imagine a business owner trying to navigate it themselves.
You know what Andrew Wall said on Friday Night Live last weekend, and what he's doing in his business, he's created a Facebook group. And if you want answers, he has like open office hours in there. And because everything's evolving so quickly and changing all the time, he doesn't want to have to keep sending out emails and trying to keep everyone up to date. So he has regular updates with his clients. And he says that's been helpful because they'll ask questions and then you've got answers for them.
That's a great idea.
And it kind of evolves. And it's instead of he just tells his customers, you got our clients, just log in here. And he said he's had a lot of people take advantage of it.
That's a great idea.
It's flexible. I think Zoom sessions like that with your clients would be great too. Just to explain. Because I tell you, I don't get them. And so that's why I said, Juliet, when you posted the other day, I just copied and pasted because it's like, I'm not going down. I don't do payroll. So, and that's just like, that's payroll on steroids, some of the stuff you guys got to figure out because it changes all the time. And I assume it's going to be like that in the States because the stimulus on both sides is that you got to get employees, you got to get money into their pockets. You don't put it into the business's hands and then they spend it the way they want. You put it into the employees' hands. So, it's going to be a challenge on both sides is to figure out how to account for all that now.
And what I have found interesting about this whole thing is, as I said, in our Kninja Facebook group, that I basically started posting the stuff there because my team was having such a hard time finding everything. And I got, we were putting it in so many different places. So I figured this is an easy place for my team to find it. Plus it's all searchable. So if my team is struggling that much, then other people have to be. Yeah. And just watching all the collaboration that's taking place in the group has been phenomenal. It's been amazing. Like Richard said, okay, this is a scenario. What do you guys think? And it's more than one brain that's trying to figure it out, that I can't imagine what the business owners are going through that don't have a bookkeeper or an accountant that is on their side helping them navigate their way through this, that they're on their own. So I think it's awesome that there are so many people in our industry who are that forward thinking and willing to collaborate and get ahead of it to help the small businesses, because there's going to be a lot, as Richard said, there's going to be a lot that are going to be dropping because they're not willing to take that step. So I think it's amazing. Okay, so we are at
Juliet. I just wanted to thank you for providing information so freely. You're not just helping your clients, you're helping us all. You're truly an example of a great leader who's helping during this time. Everyone.
I appreciate that.
And I've benefited a lot from the information that you've shared. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I appreciate that. So Steve, would you like to end us off with a quote for the week?
Sure. Just before the quote, a very quick thing. Just read a great book, highly recommend if you enjoy reading, and it's called Elevate by Robert Glazer. Fantastic book, and he also has a free Kindle version until April 7th of his book. So I have the link, and I will put it in the Facebook chat so that anybody wants to grab the link. Highly recommend, great book. And to end the session, quote, this week I have: the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence. It is the act. It is to act with yesterday's logic.
Hey.
That's a good one.
Thinking.
I like it.
Stay safe, everyone. Have a fabulous week.
See you, everyone. Take care. Good seeing everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.